Hello, hello, hello. Happy people. I hope we all are doing well. I'm trying to make a little bit of adjustments here before we start into our live. Yesterday, I committed to trying to do it, and unfortunately, it just was not where it needed to be as far as the live goes or whatever. So we decided to do it over again, and I'm kind of like trying to adjust it or whatever. And I'm just being very transparent today. I'm not trying to be politically correct or whatever. Uh, so you see me get myself together and shoot, hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem as though it's always flawless or nothing like that because it's not. I mean, sometimes you have to, you know, do what you need to do to make sure things are right or whatever. And so I made my adjustments to my lighting. So hopefully that looks pretty transparent and good as far as the lighting. And, you know, um, I went and attempted to do the live yesterday, and I have no idea. I thought it was going forth, but it was not. It just was not. So we're going to talk again about the dangers of spoon fed Christians. The dangers of spoon fed Christians. And so I want to give shout out to my chief intercessor, Minister Mardina Blackshire. She actually came up with that in her spirit, the title with that in her spirit. She is in the process of finishing her book. So, she got it copywritten and all that stuff. And so she's in the process of getting that taken care of. But I asked her, I said, would you mind if I put my little twist on talking about that? And she said, sure, go ahead. So, one of the dangers I feel of being spoon fed in society, whether it's in church or whether it's in, you know, your work environment or whatever it's in, the dangers of that you start to believe what other people say to you rather than you believe what you know what's being said to you on the inside, what the spirit is bearing witness to. And oftentimes, we take misinterpretations or misdirections from other people that see something in you that can just be a gift, but not necessarily your passion. And so, and you find that in society, finding, your God-given purpose should be a passion that is on fire unequivocally all the time. It should be something that you do effortlessly, that it doesn't feel like work. It feels like it's just something of who you are. And when you try to allow people to speak into your life and tell you something about you that doesn't identify with what your spirit is saying about you, nor does it identify with who you are trying to be or want to be or become, you find yourself being misled, misdirected. And then when you get into a place to where you're saying, Lord, Lord, why aren't you blessing me? Why aren't you making this happen? Because God is not interested in your will or somebody else's word being fulfilled. What he is interested in is what he has told your spirit before you met your mother and your father womb and sperm. He's interested in what he said, that my sheep know my voice and a stranger that they will not follow. He's not necessarily talking about you as particular, but he's talking about the spirit that dwells within you. My God. Wow. The spirit that dwells in you know my voice and a stranger that it won't follow. So you sitting up here trying to be, directed by what this person has said, and 9 times out of 10, the person that's telling you something about you probably don't even know who they are. I said it. I did. You know, I've heard this saying, and I just it is what it is. I'm just gonna say it. You know, um, when a person is venturing off into what they feel that God has put in their spirit for them to do, and then they go speak to their leaders or go speak to someone that they look up to, and they call themselves giving them godly counsel. My question is this: why is it that their counsel is godly, but the witness that bears witness with your spirit ain't godly? Why do we put so much into what this person is saying that has no bearing on what God has spoke to your spirit? Why are they godly counsel? But then, when you decide to follow what the Spirit has told you, your Spirit has told you to do, you become an unlearned Christian or a wayward Christian or a difficult Christian. You or rebellious Christian. You become one of those things. And I'm talking about this because I want you to beware being spoon fed by people or pastors or leaders or whatever you want to call them or mentors or people in society, being spoon fed by someone that still may be discovering who they are, because you have a lot of people in leadership that are looking for you to validate who they are, and if you're not listening to what their God-given counsel is towards what they think you should be doing, then it doesn't validate who they are and who they're trying to be. And so then you have two dysfunctional people trying to lean and learn from each other. And one is trying to gain validation of being who they're saying that they're called to be. And you're trying to get validation from them, who's trying to also get validation from you. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, because my thing is, while we're trying to look at the outward of getting validation, why are we not searching the God within, trying to say, validate me, Lord, help me to stand firm and on a sure foundation of what you're calling me to be, so that way I can be pleasing in your eyesight. And yes, the naysayers may not like me. Yes, they may talk about me. Yes, they may scandalize my name. Yes, they may say all sorts of crazy things about me. But as long as I got a witness in my spirit of what you told me to do, then guess what? I'm going to be okay. And I said this time and time again, you will make enemies when you decide to listen to the voice of God within, as opposed to listening to what God people say God's voice is on the without. And I know I got some people that are getting ready to come against this. I know I got some people that's going to be showing up saying that this is not right. But I'm going to tell you right now, people that try to steer you to hear their voice and not God's voice is a witch, and it's nothing but witchcraft is what it is. Anytime somebody tries to get you to dismantle what whether it's in the church or whether it's in the secular world, they try to get you to dismantle or disdoubt what you're capable of doing is a spirit of witchcraft. And I'm sorry, witchcrafts are only done by witches. Hmm? I love my spiritual leaders, because my spiritual leaders, if they don't know how to counsel me in the way or in certain things that I'm dealing with, they say you need to go pray. They point me back to the man that actually created me. They don't come, forking like they know more than what God plan. They know more God about God's plan for me than God does. They don't act that way. I don't want anybody that wants to give me ungodly counsel that does not lead me, or godly counsel, excuse me, that does not lead me towards seeking the Father. And so it wasn't until I said, I don't want to be spoon fed by nobody. I want to be a person that hears his voice, and a stranger I will not follow. And so I made the decision, come hell or high water, that I'm going to trust the voice within as opposed to the voices that are without on the outside trying to tell me something that they still trying to figure out themselves. Okay. Because you got a lot of people that have been called, but you have some that just went. Okay. And you need to be aware of this. You find all sorts of pastors, or leaders, or, officials, government officials that are in leadership that have no character. And their character is based on you following them. And, I said in one of my videos that you are only as good as the person that has deposited into your trust account. And when that trust account has become violated, then that person can't trust you. And then they see that your character is not lining up with what you're speaking about. And so then, therefore, then they're right back to the beginning of figuring out someone that they can trust that lines up with what they say they are and what they're telling you to do. It ain't everybody, but you got a lot of them out there. And I believe that now her teaching is very, very detailed, and I love the things that she's doing. I'm just putting my little twist on it just to say that you need to go to her page, Mardina Blackshire. You need to, she is doing it in word form. She's not doing a podcast or anything like that, but it's very, 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 very powerful teaching that gets you to say, am I a spoon-fed Christian? Am I somebody that wants to be fed the word as opposed to somebody that wants to be a hearer and a doer of the word? You got to ask yourself these questions, because we get into this sociology type situation to where, oh, well, I go to church and I listen to the word, but are you a doer of the word? And how do you know that what they're telling you is accurate unless you do a fact check? Which is what I love about my producer Patrick. Whatever I put out, he's gonna go and fact check it. He's not going to let me put out anything that is not lined up with the word. And I love, he don't even want you preach it to him. And if you preach to him and you preach it, he is going home and he's gonna research it, the Greek, the mythology, the Hebrew. He's gonna figure it out, and if it's not right, he's coming back to you. I love that, and we as Christians, whether we're learned Christians or whether we're new Christians, we should always be in our word trying to fact check what's being said, because a lot of things that are being said nowadays are just opinions. It has nothing to do with what is really the word is talking about. And I'm not interested in your opinion. I'm interested in knowing God with what his word is really saying. I don't want to be the person that says to tickle my ears and tell me what I want to hear. Okay, both good and bad, because a lot of these people that prophesy or whatever they call themselves doing, they will prophesy good. They never, but most prophets that prophesied it to back in those days, they didn't never come with a good word. Okay, you better see. You would know that if you kind of fact checked your Bible. They never came with good words. But everybody else is talking about, oh, I see you in the house. Oh, I see you with rims, blims, and $100 million and all that stuff. Okay, great. All right. You better fact check that. Because, and what's crazy about this, um, just really, when you know who you are, a stranger you won't follow. But what's crazy about this situation is I would be scared to tell you that God said something and he really didn't. You know, I I would. That's why when I get on here and I talk, I just don't talk outside of my. I listen to what he is saying for me to say, and my quest is to make you aware of who you are, not according to what people have told you to be, or what society has made you to be, or what life has took you through the journey to be, but who you really are according to what the spirit inside you knows about you. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? Okay. I know that there's some witnesses. No, no, no. You want Susie Q to make you doubt who you are. You want Brother Joe and Blow to have you doubting on your job who you are when you know that you are someone that is very educated, or you're someone that knows that, listen, I know I'm not crazy, and so, but then they have you second guessing yourself. What's wrong with something? Because why you second guess? Because you don't spend time searching for the God with woo. Oh my God. You don't spend time searching for the God that's within. Mhm. Okay. Because when he puts a word in you, or when he tells you something, baby, it's unshakable. Okay. I've lost a lot of people and a lot of friends, because he has put something deep down on me. You can't shake and move me when it comes down to let's talk truth. You just can't. I know with my knower that this is what he wants me to do. Okay. Listen, yes, I can sing, and I can cook, and I can, do all sorts of things. But those things are giftings. But my passion is listening and hearing what's not being said in the room, and bringing healing and building and bringing life into the person that is on life support. Yeah, yeah. That's my passion. That's my passion. And I've been doing it for 25 years now. We may be going on 26. 26. Some of it was cooking and, crying and scratching and hollering, but I was doing it. And now I've just learned how to embrace what it is that he was putting me on the job training to do. So this right here, just encouraging you. What we're doing right now is I go live just to encourage you, just to bring self awareness to making you have a thought in your mind of who I am, and who I'm showing up to be, not according to what other people are saying about you, but according to what you know to be the truth about you. Well, there's a little still small voice that says, "Don't do that. That's not who you are." No, 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 no. That will ruin your integrity. Those voice, that spirit that knows you before you knew yourself. Okay, that spirit that had a conversation between your mom and your dad before they even met. Huh? I'm talking about that. Life and death is in the power under the tongue. And a lot of times we're witnessing so many spiritual deaths because people are giving wrong information, misinterpretations about the real essence of who you really are. Okay? Start investigating that. I am like really out of time, and I just think that I think it's just such a powerful subject. I wanted to get on here and I wanted to give my interpretation of it, but I really want to encourage you to go look her up and read some of the things that she has. It is very phenomenal. Very, very, very phenomenal. I just, she's on lesson two, and it's coming out of Acts 17, 10 and through 12. And it is such a powerful, her key scripture is so powerful. As soon as it was night, the believers sent Paul and Silas away to Berea. On arrival, they that were to the Jewish synagogue, 11, now the Berean Jews, were a more noble character than those that were in Thessalonica. For they received the message with great earnestness and examined the scriptures every day to see what Paul was saying was true. In other words, what they were saying is that they just didn't take his word for it. They examined it, they dissected it, they looked into it, and they made sure that he was speaking accurate information. As a result, many of them believed, as also a number of prominent Greek women and Greek men. Listen, you won't know it until you read it for yourself. And you won't hear from God until you learn his voice. Okay? I want to invite you to the spirit of you, because he knows his voice and he knows what it sounds like. He had a conversation with God about you. So he knows, he's the GPS that knows the route you should take. So investigate. it. Talk to it. Let it speak to you. Oh, no, 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 no. You're going to lose that friend, but no, no, no. You're going to be all right. No, no, no. Go this way. I got you. I got you. I've learned it. I'm learning it still. Faith is a real hard walk to walk out. But when you have that voice that's within that knows the route, you stand firm and you are standing unmovable and unshakable. Okay? I can look. I'm out of time. I hope this bless somebody. I really do. I hope that this bless somebody. I would love for you to like it, subscribe it, and share it because someone needs to hear it. Someone needs to know about it. And if you're one of those people that are looking for um, just how to get to know his voice or even how to figure out who he is and who he is for, who he is, I'm sorry, who he is for you, I want to invite you yeah, that's going to be pretty bad, but it is what it is. I want to invite you to go to my website, www.imjlstone. Click the casting button. Tell us your story. Let us begin to investigate with you on who God really says that you are. So then that way you won't just be going on other people's opinions, but you're gonna find, you know, um, the success story of finding out who he is and learn how to follow his voice and not a stranger. I'm not saying not to hear a preacher because the word of God says, how can they hear without a preacher? But what I am saying is you need to know that that preacher is giving you rightful and accurate information. Okay. And so, listen, if you fall for something, you will fall for anything. And so, until you know who you are, you won't be so easily tricked when you learn that. Okay. So, come on, look at stuff. I am JL Stone, www.imjlstone.com. Click the casting button or the pre coaching button. Send us your story. We'll be more than happy to go on this journey with you. And there's a way that you can get it for free. There is a way that you can get it for free. So inquire about that. Okay. And then if in fact you are somebody that likes these shirts, I got one on now, fog wear, and these shirts are very inexpensive, very, very, very doable. Um, I wash them all the time. They don't fade, they don't shrink. And we got them in all sorts of colors, and our turnaround time is quick. We can get them out there to you uh, less than a week and a half or something like that, that we can get them out there to you. Good quality shirt that just simply reminds you or reminds someone that is looking at you who they are. Favor of God. Come on, fellas. And I'm fearfully, wonderfully made women. Something that, is a gift that keeps on giving. I encourage you to buy it for someone. We're coming up on Christmas. You can give them as Christmas gifts. Okay. And then, I also have books that are available. These books are these books are tools, great tools. One is a workbook called "The Power to Build a Man," and we use them during our coaching sessions. So they're very, very powerful. We don't get through it, but we get down to the root of things that is keeping that person stuck. And then there is a self help book for women that is about us as men, and it kind of just helps you understand who we are if you're looking to get married or are married or have a fiance or whatever, and you're just not so quite clear about your purpose for this marriage and towards this man. This would really help you. It would set some things straight. I'm excited because I do have a book out that's getting ready to come out, excuse me, for the man. It's called The Power to Cover That Woman, the power to cover my woman. Um, um, and and I think it's going to be a great eye opener to men on how to really cover, such a powerful gift that God has given you, such a fragile and powerful gift that God has given you. And so be looking for that coming really soon. And, we're going to do it on purpose. We're going to do it in purpose, and we're going to do it with all power. We're going to get the purpose. And so I want to invite you to share. I want to invite you to like it. I want to invite you to subscribe. Don't just keep it for yourself. Share it with somebody else because there's people that are really dealing with the subject that we're talking about. Okay. Um, and we're gonna come back here again, and we're gonna do it next week, and we're gonna have another topic. I don't know what the Lord's gonna talk about, but listen, I'm excited to come on here and share with it, and I'm hoping that it blesses you. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your opinions. So write it in the chat box. Let us know what you're thinking, and or what we need to talk about. And it is definitely being read, and it's definitely something that will help us. Give you and minister to you on what you think, or even your thoughts on what you think we should be going towards. Okay, God bless you. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.